All right, gentlemen, when it comes to the Bulwark after patch 6.0, we're going to be talking about the new shield bash builds that you can make that are much more viable now with the recent patch. So first off, you're going to want to take this. If you're playing Absolute, you're taking this build with whatever weapon you feel most comfortable with, and whatever is your best weapon, be it fencing, blocking, balanced, whatever it is, that's what you're going to want to take. But I'm going to give you an idea of how I'm setting up each one of my weapons to tailor to different builds here. So that is how I'm setting up my power sword you're seeing on the bottom. Chaos, Tyrannid, and then if you want more of a survival type of power sword just for the option, you know, you can go with the bottom one, but I do recommend the top two. And then with the shield bash, the main thing you need to know about this is you just have to work it into making it the end of your combo. So for one thing, you don't have to hit your target to get the buff to activate. So you can just preemptively swing into the air before you start your encounter, and you're going to have the buff on. But then during the encounter, just know you can, you know, shield bash cancel all of your attacks. So if you're attacking and you're mid attack, you can just, you block cancel, but then you block cancel into a shield bash, so it's instant. You know what I'm saying? So you can cancel out all your attacks with the shield bash anytime you notice that it's down, just to easily work it into your gameplay that way. I found that to be the most convenient way to really work it into mine, was, you know, just knowing that I can block cancel my attacks. Instead of block canceling, I will just, you know, shield bash cancel and just be straight into my next combo or my next parry or whatever I need to do. So that is how I found the easiest way to, you know, take advantage of the shield bash right now. And the damage numbers are very high when you can keep this 45% up. And then when we're looking at the other bash build right here, this is going to be the tank build, and it is going to give you you know, more survivability. When you're surrounded by enemies, you're going to pick up some damage reduction to ranged attacks, and then you're also going to get armor on non-gun strike kills, or you can take that little green one up there instead. Also, with this previous build, I'm sorry, these green ones up top, these are just for some talking points I wanted to go to. You know, obviously the signature one is your nade one. If you want the full shock build, you go with that, but in Absolute, I definitely recommend the one under it. You know, I recommend the exact build I got when it comes to Absolute. And then the other green one you're seeing there in the gear perks is your AoE damage on your banner, and I just put this little green dot on there so you guys do check it out. It is stronger than what it was before. I don't think it's the best one in this line or anything, but it is a lot better than what it previously was. So that's for that. And then here you're with this build right here, the block build, you're seeing our power fist for our Tyrannid and our chaos setup. And then you're seeing our chainsword setup, which if I'm running the chainsword, I would be running it in the blocking version. And actually, I think that's kind of why they made this shield bash so strong, was to pair the Bulwark with his blocking chainsword and also these power fists, because 45% on top of these power fist charges are very, very strong. So if you learn how to, you know, use the power fist in the charge shot version, then this shield bash can make those very powerful as well. So, you know, all the old builds are still working, guys, but these are just some new viable builds that feel really nice as well. And then they did also add, I doubt anybody will ever take this, but they did also add a new gear support option to where if you take these three in this line right here, you're going to get 20% more damage for anybody in the banner, 20% duration of the banner, and then 20% less range damage for anybody in the banner. So, you know, I did try this out for a little bit, actually, and you know how you got the banner deals AoE damage? Now, like I told you, that did take a big bump in how much damage it deals. So if you like parry into a shock nade, so you drop your shock nade right after your parry, and then you put this damage dealing banner right on top of your shockwave with it, it is actually pretty strong. So that's why I said you guys just maybe want to check it out. It does feel nice when you have that 20% more damage, and the banner does last a long time, so you and your teammates can take advantage of it. And then we are going to look at our secondary options. I am going plasma pistol against chaos enemies, and then I would usually go Volkite against Tyrannid enemies, but the plasma pistol works good against both. But I would not really recommend the Volkite for chaos enemies. They move around a lot. It's really hard to get them to heat up properly and stuff like that. But the Volkite, honestly, it took a big jump with the patch. So if you haven't tried the Volkite since the patch, give it a try. It's just because this extra perk right here makes it a lot stronger. It's nothing they did to the gun. It's just this, if you pick up this heating speed 25% on top of this top line right here, it makes it that you're getting to your discharge so much faster, so you're taking advantage of your damage, and then your AoE damage as well as the radius is bigger. So, you know, this just feels a lot better just by adding that one perk. So that's the one perk you're going to want to add. You're going to want to go top row and then add the heating speed by 25%. And that is it, guys. You know, the main thing about it is going to be your shield bash and just working those into your combos, guys. So, you know, if you're usually taking 3 swings in a certain situation, now you're taking 2 swings and you're going into your shield bash. And that is how you're just going to stay up at 45% damage and actually make this build feel good. And as I said before, the old build and the old AoE, even though they did add the 5 seconds onto the parry AoE that you have, it still feels nice. I didn't like it at first, but the damage is higher than you know, I first thought, so it does not feel as bad as I first thought it did either. So, you know, if you don't want to do the shield bash thing, you're still going to pick 15% from your shield bash, regardless from picking your last gear perk right there. But you can always go with your AoE parry, you know, just like the old days. But, you know, right now, this is a fun build to play, guys, and it is strong as long as you are working in your shield bash properly.